Greetings everyone, my name is Napoleon Complex, I go by Ludendorff in the Southern Forums. Welcome back to Faction Spotlight and welcome back to the Kushan army. So, today my opponent is Pompey-the-Flatulent, and he is bringing the Sassanid Persian with Arab Bedouin list. My allies are the Parthians. And I am up against it today, I think, because this, I think, is a mismatch. Let's take a look at the Sassanid army first. They can bring to bear a large force of levy spearmen, along with cheap Bedouin foot and Sassanid heavy foot, which I'm hoping my opponent won't bring, because that is starting to get a little bit heavy on the foot side of things. But what makes this combination so dangerous is that in addition to the levy spearmen, Pompey can also bring a large body of Bedouin cavalry. So that's 12 units altogether in the centre. And to hold the line, and to make matters worse, the Bedouin lancers are very effective against the kind of unarmoured horse archers and nomad horse archers which I can bring to bear, so they can charge out, get close and personal with my unarmoured horse archers before they can let loose their volleys, and then cause disruptions amongst my ranks. So I'm afraid of that combination. What I've done to try and oppose it in the centre, and I've built my entire army around this possibility, because I'm less afraid of other combinations. But in order to counter that possibility, I've gone cataphract, infantry, cataphract, horse archer, and so on. The idea is that the infantry will either charge at the raw spearmen and either disrupt or engage them, and then the cataphracts will follow through the breach and disrupt the enemy lancers and drive them off the field. Or if they can't, or in the case of the horse archers can work together in teams to disrupt the enemy's spears, and then the lancers will either be forced to come out and confront the cataphracts in order to protect the raw spearmen, or the cataphracts can potentially charge into the raw spearmen once they are fragmented, charge through, and then get into the ranks of the lancers waiting behind. But that's only the first obstacle in this army. We are facing a potential mixed formation of elephants and cavalry and expert armoured horse archers. Well, sorry, lancers and expert armoured horse archers. And I expect that the complete formation may come to 10 units in total. Now, I can't possibly raise the horse archers. Now, ideally, I could maybe put a screen of medium horse archers, unarmoured horse archers, across that, so they could shoot at the elephants to disrupt them and just run away from the expert armoured horse archers that they charge. At least hold in melee a little while. Hopefully if we can disrupt the elephants, we can just retreat away from them and they won't be able to disrupt us too much, and we can just evade the enemy cavalry. But we can't possibly bring enough unarmoured horse archers or nomad horse archers to counter an elephant cavalry archer formation like that. So what I've done instead is I've gone with a small force to try and harass the elephants. I have brought some skirmishers to focus on any massed archers on the rough ground, and I've brought 6 units of light horse archers and nomad horse archers and a unit of light javelin horse, 6 light cavalry in total. And their job is going to be to try and swing around the side of the battlefield and get in at the back of any mixed cavalry elephant formations. Try and tie up the cavalry with charges while the medium cavalry go for the elephants and try and disrupt the elephants. But the idea is to try and protect our lancers from elephant charges while the cavalry do their work. But I will need to move forward aggressively and get around the back of Pompey's army, constantly threaten this back line with cavalry charges. I'm going to achieve that today. So my army is set up for very specific purposes, and because there's no guarantee Pompey will do what I would do here. There might also be massed archers here. That's why I'm refusing this flank away from this forest, is to keep away from any fire that comes out, at least until the archers do emerge, and I can possibly charge something out and catch them. But for the moment, at the start of the battle, I need to stay away from this area. I'm also aware that and I'm actually just spotting that there's a built-up area again. Hopefully the infantry can do something about that. And I think I will actually rearrange this somewhat. I think, well, now that I set up my army, I will be back once I have set up my generals. So see you in a moment. Okay, we're set up. If I sound tired, that was a monstrously long deployment, and I really had to think quite hard about what army to bring. And I'm still not completely convinced this isn't going to be a disaster, but I've done my best. Let's see how this goes. Next turn. Pompey's saying every battle is hell for the Kushans, and I think I have proven scientifically that that is not true. The Kushans are perfectly capable of winning battles if they are led correctly, and they are up against the right army type. This might not be the right army type, but they can win. Right, here we go. So a long line of armoured horse archers with experts in the back row and elephants as well. Well, that's certainly a good choice against my cataphracts. Gonna have to rearrange my line. I'll need to use my massed archers against those elephants, I think. Interesting little levy spearmen over here. That could allow me to reconcentrate my forces towards the right flank against his left. And he's got the light flankers over here. Not how I set up, but still an effective formation. Okay. There's only one unit of I need to find a way to keep my cataphracts out of the way of those elephants, but they're not the only threat in the field. At the end of the day, those elephants are 2 cataphract units gone, while I have a lot of cataphracts in the field, so I can use my other units effectively. That doesn't need to be a fatal blow. Right. I think my cataphracts need to make for the... Let's see. Yeah, we need to move our infantry towards the centre of the battlefield. They're unmaneuverable. There's not much I can do about that right now. Or is there? Well, these units are trying to go in this direction. Yes, there is. There absolutely is. I want these horse archers to threaten the elephants, so we need to bring those forward as well. And in fact, let's see if these unarmoured horse archers can't harass those elephants. Let's see. Or do I just ignore those elephants for now and go after his main force? Well, I can always swing them in. Let's keep shifting towards the right. And really do want to keep my unarmoured horse archers quite close to the fighting here. But they'll need support against those Indian archers, so I'll move my massed archers out into position, and they can also hit those armoured horse archers, because the unarmoured horse archers will do quite badly in the missile fight. They'll need extra missiles to make up for that. Probably actually want to use my cataphracts out towards the outer part of the battlefield. Now what I want to do is want to use my cataphracts against the enemy horse archers and swing my cavalry forces out towards the flanks to shoot at the enemy from the flanks. Javelinmen should head towards the extreme right of the battlefield so they can swing back in, and Beyond that, my missile troops can... Same with the light javelin horse. Beyond that, my light cavalry forces can support one another. I wonder if I should be hurrying towards an engagement here. Part of me feels like I should be pulling back and giving myself time to set up. I might still have time to do that. I can always take this force and run away and focus on setting up a battle on the right flank, because I want to let these light horse do their job and give them a chance to use their numbers advantage. Because ideally the best place to engage would be in this area here. I don't want to engage with my large number of light cavalry in this enclosed area. So let's see what Pompey does. If he advances rashly, I'll probably start to pull back. But no, Pompey, I do have to, having played this army for a while now, I do have to disagree that that every battle is hard for the Kushans. I think they're a perfectly capable army if they're used correctly. They're actually quite well balanced. I mean, with all these elephants and cataphracts, they need even some medium infantry to balance them out. They're about as balanced and viable as a horse archer army gets. Next turn. So he's probably just going to advance this flank first, force me to move. Because he can see as well as I can that this area of the field isn't favourable to his horse archers. That's interesting. I'm not sure why he's doing that. Probably to put more pressure on my infantry and to move away from my missile cavalry. Because at this rate I might have to fall back. I might get pushed off of this hill and be forced to deploy on the hill behind. Right. It was looking more and more like that's what I'll have to do. Right. I need to quickly decide how I want the forces to be organised, and I need to do it now. Because he's got these elephants swinging towards the situation as well. And that's where my cataphracts are. If my light horse could quickly intervene in this situation, and then that might force these units to come forward and support, which would leave them open to a counterattack from my horse archers. Okay, so let's quickly form up here a reserve battle line here. And I am going to take my light force and I'm going to sprint them towards the side of the fight. Okay, they can't charge, that's good. So this is these are the only units that can move quickly enough to quickly react to this developing situation. And that's what I need to use them for, as a rapid response force just now. The elephants are supremely dangerous. What am I going to do with my cataphracts? I might want to pull them back for the moment. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Trying to see if a turning around next turn for withdrawal is a option. Draw his forces back towards the back of the map. I think for the moment I'll start to drop. Well, that has its problems as well. And also, where can those archers ride out to? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that's fine. But the thing is, they could attack these unarmored horse archers, and there's nothing I can really do because they're facing. Ride them out to here so they can pull back. And that unit's too. Okay, so I think we're safe from counterattack now. So the rest of the units will start to fall back. Although I'm a little bit worried about this. Pull the cataphracts back up onto the hill so they can offer a little bit of cover to the retreat. We'll need to shuffle them around, of course, to let our infantry forward. And just drop the unarmored horse archers back. Yeah, we're retreating on the left. And hopefully I can draw Pompey into a fight on the right, which is where I want to fight him. Next turn. And they'll be extremely dangerous to the unarmored horse archers. He doesn't seem to be taking the bait so far. No, he's drawing back even farther. He's completely disengaging with that wing. He wants to destroy me on the left before I can even engage on the right. And he'll only move in these forces when I'm forced to bring my forces over to the left. So what do I do instead? I do have a lot of mobility available due to my horse archer army. What I could do is actually attack this. The elephants hovering there are a massive threat to my cataphracts. Because of course I was never planning to use the cataphracts against this wing. I expected him to concentrate his elephants. Instead he's spread them around the map. And he's protecting them with massed archers. And the light lancers also make life difficult for my own units, which are not as powerful. So the problem is I need the cataphracts to help fight the armoured horse archers, which are better than my own horse archers. But I need the unarmoured horse archers to help me deal with the elephants, and the unarmoured horse archers need to go in first to do that. Let's see. There are enclosures back here that could protect my infantry, but that would leave them practically out of the fight. It did force him to swing away from my army, which has left his force maybe not threatening this area quite as much as they could be. And if we get boxed into a tiny little part of the map, that's going to hurt us. Okay, let's see. First thing I think I need to do is get my army away from this massive concentration of force. Okay, we're going to start to move the cataphracts over to the extreme left wing of the battlefield. Drop these forces back for the minute. Move our archers towards the enclosed fields. Well, they'll be no worse off than my advancing infantry. No. I think he can charge around the village, so I can't just deploy there. So let's see. You have no real room to maneuver here. Start to set up here. Not the nomad light horse archers, move them further away because if they're close they might decide to stand and take that fight. And 4's enough for that duty. Thing is, we're in retreat here. This has been happening to me a lot in games. I keep getting caught out in deployment and then forced into a retreat, which puts me at a disadvantage. I seem to be really... I'm struggling a little bit with anticipating what my opponents are going to do. They seem to set up their armies just more effectively. Next turn. Here come the light troops to ruin my day. I should be able to move them behind the infantry next turn. Pompey not missing a trick attacking my lightly armoured troops. If he overextends himself here, I might be able to turn around and fight. Now he's coming forward. But only cautiously, he's closing me down. Okay. Right, for now, back behind the barricades. Now, those expert armoured horse archers want to move after my cataphracts. Okay, think about... No, they'd be able to actually flank charge from that range. I've not quite been quick enough, have I? I need to work my deployment. I'm constantly getting forced into these fighting retreats. And the reason it keeps happening like that is because I end up putting my troops in positions where they're not at an advantage at the start of the battle. I swear that half of my battles end with me having to fall back and redeploy my entire army before I get a chance to actually fight the battle at all. Okay. Starting to maneuver into something resembling a combat formation. Okay, I am officially sick of running away. It's time to actually turn back and fight a little bit. If I place this unit here, what can my javelins do? Surprising amount, actually. And they're not particularly attractive targets for massed archers to fire at. Good. That's a disruption, and the most he's going to be able to do in return is disrupt my nomad light horse archers. So sometimes a little bit, even in a situation where you're fighting where you're conducting a fighting retreat, a bit of aggression is needed. When I look at the situation, actually, the more I think these units might be needed over here to give us some firepower to combat the armoured horse archers. We want to put this unit here, I think. To try to block the fire. But the hill's going to cause us a problem. And I just realised I blocked these units in completely. They don't really have anywhere to go. Can any of these units move at all? Move them forward so that this unit can fall back to safety. Okay. We've got the basis of our defensive line here, and if he moves out onto the flat, these levy spearmen can actually be quite vulnerable to cataphract charges, especially generaled up. Next turn. Right, so you'll rain fire on that unit there, but I don't mind that so much. But yeah, Pompey's going to use his fire better than that. Oh my goodness. What is happening to me lately? Last couple of games I just don't seem to know what I'm doing. He's completely jammed these units in, they can't move at all. Right, in that case, why can't they turn in that direction? I was going to say. I'm not convinced that was the best direction for them to turn in anyway. Okay. Thankfully, he can't actually attack me from there. Okay. Well, he can fire arrows at me, but he can't charge into me. Not unless I'm stupid enough to leave the javelin here and to let him do that. But he will get a strong attack against me. The only thing I can hope to do is counterattack strongly with my own archers. Nuh-uh, I can see what you're doing there. I'm not going to give you the chance. In fact, I think what I'll do is... I'm trying to think, can I get my nomad horse archers into that town, because as melee troops they'll fight quite well under those circumstances. And lancers are blocking my light horse. Now we can't get into the town. Curses. Right, this is where we're going to die then. In a godforsaken gulch at the side of the map. Next turn. And there goes the one advantage I managed to win. Well, never mind. Oh, one volley. It's always painful when it's one volley. Because it usually does take at least two. Every single one of them fragmented. Luckily, we might actually manage to rescue some of them. Ah, but there it goes. Yep. And they're surrounded now. At least it's costing quite a bit of ammo to shoot them down. Yeah, I know, when you're saying, well, at least they're spending a lot of ammo on us, it's usually desperate days. Oh. Ah, look where they ran. But of course, if Pompey's reckless and charges out, then that causes trouble. Yeah, Pompey's taking a relaxed pace because I'm not putting any pressure on him. And he's managed to drive off the little pressure I brought to bear. Ah, but he still went for that. Right. Now, how are we going to do this? He's still keeping those Bedouin light horse back there. I think Pompey is showing that he knows how to use an army like this. I feel like I'm just scrabbling around trying to organize my units into some kind of pattern. He actually seems to be following some kind of strategy here. We'll fight this and see where these cavalry end up. Ugh, nowhere useful for us. And my own routing archers have blocked my the potential shots at them. It has at least given me a shot at them from here. But because they're pursuing routers, we get less casualties upon them. So that was almost useless in the end. And my massed archers won't do well against armoured horse archers and prolonged shooting because they're unarmoured themselves. You generally don't want your cataphracts fighting units of leve spearmen. I've got elephants coming in as well. There's just so much in this army that can kill us dead. Try and keep our javelin shielded, because they are one unit that can actually trouble the elephants. Right. We can't win yet. We're not going to win from this position. So let's just try and improve that situation so we're at least losing less badly. At least turn these units around to try and shield us from the armoured horse archers. Okay, what we need to try to do is start to get into a position where we're in a weak position right now. Every turn we make now needs to try to put us into a stronger one. Now, right now, we need some horse archers or something to prepare to fight those elephants, because they're going to end up going straight into our cataphracts. I might possibly be able to use my militia 3 or 4 to draw them off, and that might allow our troops to fight so we can protect, or at least fight back against the and try and protect our cataphracts for the moment. I think what I'll do is I'll come out and I'll try to put a little bit of pressure. Okay, well that wasn't enough to cause a disruption. What if I had a bit more fire? All of that and nothing. That horse archer fire is so weak against those mass spears. Well, my cataphracts can at least shield this line. Let's see. If I can transfer these horse archers into position. So they'll need to come through. They'll need some help to maneuver. Okay, so if I bring some of my light horse through, they are facing elephants. Okay, so we still want the cataphracts out in front here. We want horse archers in support, ready to come out and attack once the rest of the enemy army engages. So I know those lancers are waiting. I'll need to leave something in place to keep them in check, even if it's really just to keep them distracted. And the thing is, I want to leave some gaps between my other troops and those lancers. Because otherwise the problem with this situation is they're likely to send all of my lancers flying out around the field. Oh, I've got very little room to maneuver here. Okay. And maybe I can use these infantry to help next turn. Yep. Demonstrating a good understanding of the zone of control rules, of the movement rules. Oh, foolish cavalry! Why would they all run away from lancers like that? So they're dead now. They'll be flanked. So the reason I have an outburst like that, and it's because these Bedouin light horse or lancers, so even light lancers get a big advantage over horse archers in melee, and of course the horse archers don't like that, and so they run away. And he's just going. I was hoping these militia Thureophori would hold out a little bit better than that. Pompey's actually being quite conservative here, but he can afford to do that. He's just taking his time, shooting my troops down, driving them out of their defensive positions, and then he can basically move in to destroy my army at his leisure. That's bad for him though. Ah, but he cleared them away. Now, unless he can, but they'll fall back. And he's practically cleared them off the map, so there's no chance of a rally happening now. Ah, that was a mistake. Because I will now flank those armoured horse archers, and I might get the armoured horse archers here as well. Oh, no, wait, but then it's my own pursuit turn, so they'll be carried out of trouble. Yep. Curses. Well, I could try and charge him. General up here, and I think our best chance is to try and go for a disrupt. Okay. Let's see. And turn back to cover the square. We'll launch a volley of arrows in here. Now, the fact that this unit has... obviously that's a non-starter. I might be able to disrupt the lights are doing their job, getting in the way. This could actually work. Shame our general can't reach. I think I can make this work because I am covering this flank. It's going to be dangerous as heck though. Okay, stomp on them. And we'll hit them with a flank charge next turn from the... Oh, blasted light horse. So they're going down to help with this situation here. Turn the cataphracts around to help the situation here, seeing as for the moment we've got the elephants under control. Those war elephants are an existential threat. Though I don't think they can charge 2 squares, so they wouldn't be able to hit our cataphracts just yet. If I could move out the way and get a disruption on them this turn, I could possibly get a fragmentation the next turn with arrow or javelin fire if I set up correctly. The light lancers are a problem, but they're not my priority target right now. And the elephants can't be everywhere. They can't attack all of my cataphracts. Not immediately anyway. Right, this is the unit I was interested in. They're obviously going there, so I want to move. Okay, I don't want my unarmored horse archers facing light lancers. They'll have to turn away for the moment. Oh, but wait, that's the point. Because that's not how I'm planning to approach this situation. I'm going to charge at them, and I'm hoping they'll get out of the way because they're close to my heavy units. Excellent. Excellent. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, this didn't quite go as I had planned. The idea was I was going to move my units to protect this zone of control here to prevent the elephants from charging. That was actually the worst possible place the nomad light horse archers could have ended up because the elephants can now pursue through and into the flanks of my waiting cataphracts. So I've been thwarted just by the way the pursuit went. Too many problems. Again, the blasted light horse. How many battles have they screwed me over now? Right. I think I can actually deal with our little light lancer problem. But if they charge now, he either has to send his heavy cavalry to help, or they'll get flanked. Well, at least we are winning this fight, so maybe this isn't such a big deal. I'm over committing to this situation, I think. We are within charge range, so pulling back will be dangerous. But it might also be the correct decision to make at this point. Get back into a defensive line. Again, that's me thinking like an infantry general when I'm in charge of a cavalry force. We should hold this position for now because if those archers move in, then we can anything that moves up to here we can bombard with missiles. If I move the cataphracts out the way now, can we get into shooting range of the elephants? Okay. Problem is the only way I can move the cataphracts into a position where they can get hit by the elephants. What if I move this cataphract unit around? That's no good. And of course we'll get hit by the armoured horse archers if I move up to fire. That was the whole problem. And if I move any closer I won't be able to avoid the elephants. Okay, let's move into a kind of mixed cataphract and horse archer formation here and just prepare to receive this. And if he does go after my light horse archers here, and they do decide to evade, then I can get these units through and into his expert armoured horse archers. So that's fine. Well, it's not fine, we're at a major disadvantage at the moment. But it's the best I can do under the circumstances. At least we're starting to fight back now. I was caught in the back foot, but there's room for recovery. Next turn. And I think I will pull this unit back, all things considered. Right. Pompey is criticising my decision not to kill the Bedouin Lancers, but I don't think I had anything to charge them with. I couldn't deal a cohesion drop. Did I miss a trick? Uh-oh. Right through everything into my archers. So that helps. Come on, they're only raw troops. They're not supposed to fight like heroes. That is not a good place for those armoured horse archers to be standing. Might have given me some room to operate there. Ah, darn it. He drove them off with a Bedouin light horse. Excellent use of light cavalry. They got driven back. I can still drive them off the field though. That's really put me in a hole now. Well, I have basically no choice but to charge out at this point. Take the general and charge out. Right into the elephants, of course. Well, we are out behind their lines now, at least. Yep, go away. Heavily armoured archers are going to be a pain to take down. Nope. Superior expert armoured horse archers were never going to give in to that. And he has another elephant on the way. This is just exhausting my resources. I don't have any way of stopping this. I can get the lancers back under control now, but it's too late. The situation's not looking much better over here. If I'm honest. And I can't move this unit because the Bedouin cavalry have my troops in the zone of control lock. They'll drive us back and then they'll flank us here. He's got me. Okay. Darn it. We've lost. There's nothing I can do now. Absolutely nothing. And we only needed one more turn to try and get these cataphracts around into the back of something or into something like the massed archers. And of course now we fragment them. Wait. And that somehow makes the situation worse. Okay, let's see. If I'd known that was going to... I should have checked that melee first, because there was nothing I could do about it anyway. Okay. Damn. At least we got the levy spearmen out of it, and cavalry through their line. We've got cataphracts being threatened by elephants. I'm going to charge out to distract the elephants to try to give... You've got to be... Why didn't... Okay, come on. Well, that just made everything worse. This is all going to explode. Yep. What a mess. Next turn. Well, this is going to suck. Oh, that ended surprisingly not terribly. Well done. I hate my life. I couldn't even win the impact. Well, at least it'll be over quickly. I desperately need to practice my cavalry tactics. Well, all that's left is to make a final stand. How do I even begin to respond to this? Those troops are going nowhere. We could win this, but the impact's horrible. What use would disrupting the elephant do? It'll still stomp us. Okay. Hello. At least that gets us into melee. Do not bounce. He bounced off. Oh, and of course, I can't do anything about this. I don't know why I'm doing this. Don't exactly have a lot left to lose at this point. Next turn. Crunch. Well, at least we lived. Come on, Pompey, put me out my misery. Is my position bad enough? I don't think my position's bad enough yet. We need to make it worse somehow. It's kind of setting into that situation. There's a kind of morbid curiosity of how bad a unit's position can get before the house comes down finally. Disrupted in one charge. He's going off to see if he can find even more of my men to kill. I can't flank there because of the barricades. Okay, well, we fragmented the Bedouins. We're not completely outmatched here. I can't do the charge again because there's lancers threatening us. I probably shouldn't try and draw his troops towards this situation. I've driven me off from his elephants as well. Thought I might at least get a fragmentation on the elephants. We'd just be driving them into a position where they could flank us. Wall them off and bring these cavalry through here. They even lost the melee. And my cavalry are cut down by lots of peasants with pointy sticks. These cataphracts can do nothing because the armoured horse archers are threatening. Okay. I like how there's absolutely no chance of beating elephants whatsoever in melee. I've looked through history, and there seems to be one instance where a cavalry army beat the elephants, but that's because the cavalry were defended by a trench, and the elephants were flanked as well by other cavalry. So that was the one case where in history where melee cavalry beat elephants. I think that was an Indian battle somewhere. But it does seem to have been a remarkably one-sided affair most of the time when elephants actually get in steady cavalry. Horse archers are a different matter. Horse archers could defeat elephants, but melee cavalry, no, never. Well, there we go. I've got the GG. Yep, that'll do it. Well, that'll do the old inferiority complex some good. Let's talk about that. And I'm honestly not even sure where to begin. The thing is, there was just such a mix of units that were dangerous to different elements of my army, and I was terrified of the elephants. I'm not really sure if I'm qualified to talk about this here because I feel like I played a poor game. And honestly, you're probably better off just watching the footage here because I don't really know what I can say about this. I really desperately struggled to get my army organized to deal with the different elements that Pompey was bringing to bear. And there was such a blend of elements. My horse archers had to worry about the massed archers and his more heavily armoured horse archers. My cataphracts had to worry about the elephants. I tried to set up a defensive perimeter with my medium infantry, but they just got shot to pieces because by that point I had no initiative and I was really just trying to shield myself from the punches. In the other game, Pompey's entire army has taken to this defensive plateau here, and I think he sets up aggressively on this flank to give himself time to draw up over here. Either that he was originally planning to take some kind of offense over here but ended up going for full defensive strategy. So maybe if I'd bottled up on the rough ground and planned a defense based on this line here, I could have done a better job. I certainly could have done a better job. I didn't know what I was doing in this situation here. I had this idea early on in the battle that I would try and match. The thing is, I tried to fight this battle, plan for this battle as if I was my opponent. So I would have, mixing cavalry with elephants and having a strong wing of having a strong wing of defensive infantry. That's how I'd approach a battle like this, but it's not how Pompey approached it, and I wasn't ready for that style of battle at all, and I wasn't able to rearrange my army in time to react to it. So more of a learning experience than anything else today here, folks. Anyway, folks, I've been Napoleon Complex. Thank you for watching this video. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you next time. Farewell. Here's the end screen.